Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larson from Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to actually create an offer out of your MLM product. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hey, it is easily one of the biggest mishaps any MLMer makes to take the product that your MLM gives you and just walk around just with that thing and try and sell it, okay? That is a product, not an offer. What I want to do is I want to walk through real quick. It's a little bit of a longer episode, so I'm going to cut over to it real quick here, but there's a case study that I want to walk through, okay? There's a lady who, she's awesome. She is in Secret MLM Hacks program, and she was asking like, but Steven, I sell mascara, right? She's in a mascara MLM. And she's like, how on earth do I create an offer and be unique among all the people who are selling mascara in my MLM? How do I be more unique than everybody, all those people? And the answer is about the offer. And if you've been walking around with like, you know, whatever, some supplement, and you're like, I have the supplement. Okay, you and everybody else does also. Right? You're not unique at all. The first time I realized this, I was doing door-to-door sales, and it was really hot out, and this was like 6 years ago, and I was knocking doors, and it was really hot out, and I went and I decided to hide, basically, inside of a McDonald's because I had free AC. As I walked in, it was so hot. I walked in, it felt good walking on in, but I was shocked to see that my boss and all these other salesmen were also hiding in this McDonald's because it was so hot, which is kind of funny. And I walked in, and I get in there, and we're talking and we're chatting for a second, and all of a sudden this guy walks up, and he goes, hey, you're selling pest control. And we were like, yeah. He's like, come spray my bugs. And he asked for a sale, which is not normal, right? Just a lay down sale right there. And we all looked around at each other, and we actually all grew up together, so we knew each other. We were acquaintances. We were friends and family, and we all looked around at each other, and we're like, "No, you didn't get a sale yet for today. No, you haven't had a sale yet in a day or whatever. You take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. Right?" And back and forth, back and forth. And what was interesting is, as we started doing that, suddenly my boss just had to stand up, and he goes, you, right? And he pointed to somebody else, and that person got a lucky lay down sale. And as I walked away from that experience, it didn't leave me. It stuck in my head, because this is what I realized. I was like, oh my gosh, it didn't matter who the guy chose. He had the same experience no matter who he chose, right? Didn't matter. It doesn't matter who he chose, because they had the same fulfillment, they had the same scripts, they had the same product, they had the same stupid jokes in their scripts. We were all wearing the same uniform. I mean, everything was the same. There was no difference based on who he chose, right? You, my friend, if you are selling your MLM product as it is, the way it comes from your MLM, are doing the exact same thing. Now, and that's the danger, right? There's no difference between choosing you over like the other tens of thousands of people also selling your product. That's a big issue. And so what I want to do is walk through real quick and tell you guys and show you guys, look, this is how you create an offer out of your MLM's product. I am not telling you to change the product itself. And that's why I wanted to walk through this case study. Okay, if you can go through and listen to me carefully walk through this, I'm gonna. So I share my screen, right, and I'm gonna walk through. It's a little bit of a case study, right? It's like 30 minutes, but I want you to see how I create an offer out of somebody's MLM product to make them more unique, more valuable, right? Deliver more, solve more than anybody else in this person's downline or upline. And that's exactly what we did, and that's exactly what's happened. And it's really, it's very powerful. It's amazing. Okay, so this is, I know I'm claiming some big stuff right here. Okay, but like get a piece of paper out and take this part seriously. It's very, very powerful if you can just catch the vision on how this happens. This is how I outvalue everybody else in my upline and downline. This is how I outvalue everybody else when I'm selling the product itself. Okay, there's more solutions I give than the standard person, but it's the way I'm packaging it together and turning it from a product into an offer. That's the real secret, and I want to teach you guys how I'm doing that. So this is a little bit of a case study. Get a piece of paper. Guys, have fun. Let's cut over right now and watch how I'm doing this to mascara. Okay, first we're going to go through some false beliefs. Okay, and just type them. I want to do this with you, so be active with me in the chat, please. This will help me, and it'll actually make it cooler. Okay, who here sells mascara? I know some of you guys do. Okay, you guys sell mascara. Some of you guys do, or some kind of makeup. That's fine too. We can put that in the same kind of category. Okay, if I'm thinking through this here real quick, the first thing I got to figure out is this, and there's going to be more official training on this in the future as well, so that keeps it clarified and it's not buried in Q&As. I want it in actual members area, okay? Right, if I've got health, wealth, relationships. Can we see that okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, awesome. I do, I just guess you said that. It doesn't show me. Michelle, oh, that's right. Michelle, I do. Okay, awesome, right? And everyone with her, okay? We all can, ask campaigns are helpful, but frankly, right, Michelle, you sell mascara. You most likely use it, I'm sure. You most likely know all about it, and you probably had some aha as to why you should be using the one you are now, right? Right, Cindy said yes, right? Right? Meaning you can skip the whole ask campaign thing if you walked the path that you're selling back into, because you already know what the false beliefs are. You walked them. You had them, right? It's a shortcut, okay? So, Michelle, you're selling, and we got 15 minutes to do this, so we're going to cook, okay? Ready? But this is, you can totally do this, right? Health, wealth, relationships. Michelle, what are you promising? Are you promising health, wealth, or relationships to these people? What do you guys think Michelle should promise? She's selling mascara, but that's not what they actually want. What do they want? Do they want health? Do they want wealth? Or do they want relationships? This is cool stuff, isn't it? This is how I design it. This is why we can crank funnels out like crazy. This process I do in my head most of the time now too. What do you guys think it is though? Is it health, wealth, or relationships? Relationships, baby. Colton was right. Right? What's the message? So you understand it's not about the product. Oh, I had to refresh. Okay, you guys were answering. I had to refresh the screen. Sorry. Right? It's not about the product. They want a relationship. That's why I put the R here. Okay. Health, wealth, relationships. Okay. They want relationships. They want relationships through what? They want relationships through, and what's they're convinced that that beauty, right? That feeling good about yourself. I don't know what your sub-market is right here, but it could be beauty. It could actually be self-help. It actually could be, you could even sell, right? What's funny? Okay, check this out. I don't know how to spell mascara, so I'm just gonna put an M, okay? Could I actually promise health through mascara? I actually could. You understand how this works? I could actually take this and I could connect it to any one of them. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I choose one, not relationships and health. Well, I could do this or this. No, choose one. Okay. The pitch styles are slightly different based on the one that you do. Okay. Right. Right. If you're talking to someone who just is really big about the opportunity, like, cool. Yeah. We make money. We make wealth through mascara. If you want someone who wants better relationships with their life, with their, they want better relationships in general, right? I'm selling relationships, or I'm promising relationships through mascara. I'm promising health. Could we actually spin this into a health category? Yeah, we could talk about psychological health. Maybe we're going to work with a category of people who doesn't actually feel good about themselves. Maybe we want to, right? Self-health. Right? The way you perceive yourself, not healthy, like, all right? And not to say the mascara is like the most important thing in health. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that you can spin the sales message. Are we talking about product or offer at all here? No, we're talking about outcome. Okay. The reason it's these three is because these are the three most no-duh places to go spend money in, right? People go spend money to get healthy. There's not much of a sales pitch. You want to be healthy? Yeah, well, join this gym, right? Buy this supplement, right? But you don't see a salesman next to eggs in the grocery store. It's kind of a no-duh buying experience, right? Right? This is a no-duh buying place. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go in and we're going to choose one. I am selling relationships through mascara. That's the way to say that. You're not selling mascara. You're selling relationships. Okay? Is that making sense? Is this cool? This is so freaking fun. I love this crap. All right. So right. Health, wealth, relationships. Okay, we're selling mascara. How many people sell mascara? That's a lot, right? I mean, that's a ton of people. Tons of people are selling mascara. They're promising relationships through mascara. Okay, so what Michelle might do at this point, what we got to do is we got to figure out the blue ocean to go sell into. Oops. What Michelle's going to do is she's going to go in and she's going to create a new opportunity and sell it directly back to the other mascara buyers, current buyers. You understand? Guys, it's one of the reasons why I recruit personally so hard and so well in my MLM, my personal downline. I don't target brand new people who are not currently in an MLM. I target people who are in an MLM and hate it. I target people who are why? Because I'm selling directly back to MLM. I'm promising wealth through MLM, but I'm selling, right? I'm taking one step back out here and I'm selling back to the general MLMist, people who hate the downline they're in, hate the company they're in, can't see a way out, don't understand, right? I'm not convincing people back here that MLM is the new opportunity. That's why paid prospecting is so effective. That's why I sell the way I do. That's what I'm trying to help you guys do as well. I'm teaching people who are already convinced that they're already here. They're not back here, right? Let's say it's wealth, right? Is this helping? Okay. I'm teaching an MLMer who's down the path already. Why? Because it shortens the education gap. It's easier sale on my side and it's a better customer. Okay. This is what happens when you get real clear on who you want. Okay. So what Michelle's going to, now back to the mascara thing. Okay. Good grief. We got 10 minutes. Let's go fast. Okay. But we'll go through detail here, and that's fine. And it's fine if I'll go over a little bit. That's cool. Okay. We got health, wealth, relationships. We got mascara. What Michelle's going to do is, Michelle, could you drop in like what people get when they buy from you? When people buy mascara from you, what do they get? This will help me a lot right now. That'd be very, very helpful. The other thing that would be nice is what does your product do that the general one doesn't? Okay. This isn't about features, but I want to know a few of them just so I kind of know how to anchor this a little bit. But we'll continue on here because it's not about that. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and this is right. There's two things I got to figure out from the red ocean. This is literally how I do it. Okay. This is why Secret MLM Hacks came out here so much. I'm actually makeup. Okay, cool. Okay. For this sake, do you mind just play with me here, just work with me? Okay, what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go back to the general, let's say makeup, okay? Okay, we'll do the makeup thing. It's also an M. The two things I got to figure out. What are current makeup buyers buying? What's the current offer that they're so convinced about that they'll actually trade cash for, right? So you get free samples away, Cindy said, of mascara. That's how you spell mascara. Okay. Right? I got to figure out the current offer. Right? How many times do you say that you're going to go do something and then you end up not doing it? Right? January 1st, New Year's resolutions, classic example. We all do that. Okay. You said my main product is a contouring kit, so it's a new way of doing your foundation. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to act like I know what that is. Okay. That's awesome though. Okay. So it's a kit. That's actually really cool. So you already have an offer that's already kind of pre-crafted. That's another way to think of a kit or an offer. Anyway. The other thing I can go figure out though is the message. There's some message that is being generically believed inside of this submarket. Okay. So I usually draw a line through the center. On one side, I figure out what the offer is. The other side, I figure out what the message is. That's it. Now that I know what that is, I know where I'm stemming out of. So when I go create this new opportunity, let's go craft this together. Okay. I need to do, sorry, doing this with kids crawling on me. That's all good. So they get a new way to do their makeup. Totally enhances to be awesome. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that I know kind of where I'm selling back into, does this make sense? The reason this is so key to understand is this is funnel hacking. That's what funnel hacking is. It has very little to do with pages, what a page looks like. That's what funnel hacking is. What's the current offer and the current message that people are consuming? Okay. When I do that, okay, so now it's time to go and it's the time to figure out, so health, wealth, relationships, we're selling only back to people who are already buying makeup stuff. Meaning, is it going to be easier for Michelle or Cindy to sell a woman who doesn't already spend a lot of money on makeup? Right? It's a harder sale if they're not already spending cash on this area. That makes sense? So I don't target those people. I target people who are already spending cash, people who are already convinced and have the belief that they need to be, that they should spend money for makeup, right? Or for MLM education, right? That makes sense? It's the other reason why I don't drop price. There's no price point, or there's no price plan on Secret MLM Hacks, right? I'm finding out those people. And Michelle said, no, it's so darn hard, right? Very hard. So change the bait to not attract those kinds of people. Funny enough, it's one of the reasons why you can raise prices for those kinds of people and they'll pay it because they're already convinced that there's value and that they should be paying. They're already used to higher price points. It's the reason why we don't compete on price. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to go create this and we're going to craft this. So we got to come up with two things. We have to come up first with, right, same exact thing. We're going to come up with an offer over here and a message. And the message will, I don't say make fun of, but it's definitely going to throw rocks at the red ocean, right? The mainstream way of doing it, right? If you look at my headlines for Secret MLM Hacks, right? What am I making fun of, right? It says the three-step system I use to auto-recruit my downline of big producers without friends and family even knowing I'm an MLM. What's the rock I'm throwing? I'm throwing rocks at those who only talk to their friends and family and have a little bit of pain over it, right? Well, it's a hook. What? Right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find some kind of hook. So I don't know what kind of hook that you have in here, but what's something that you can say to these people that, not that you're trying to ruffle feathers, but the people are like, you touched a nerve. Like, I see why you're saying that. I felt the same pain. What are you doing here? Right? And you're like, come with me. Like, I'm coming with you. Like, right? That's why you figure out, that's what the headline is for your products. Doesn't matter if you're doing a webinar or not. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So you ready to design this? Is this helpful? This is so fun. I started coming up with this process here about 2 years ago. Just on my own on whiteboards as I started designing out my own offers and applying things like Expert Secrets and .com Secrets and other education products. And I was the only coach for 2 Combo coaching for a while. Would a rock I could throw be stop doing your makeup to make yourself look like everyone else? Use makeup that enhances your beauty. I don't know that market. You know what I mean? So one thing we'll do is we'll come up with like 10 rocks. Another way to, or hooks. Please don't throw rocks at people, okay? You know what I mean? Like if I'm pitting against the company, I throw it at the company, not the CEO. Does that make sense? So Michelle brings up a great question. One of the things we'll do is we'll come up with lots of hooks, lots of rocks, lots of shock effect headlines. What? Wow, really? There's so many ads that are out there. What's going to hook them and pull their attention towards you for a second? Right. All right, let's keep going on this. All right, so this all stems back here from false beliefs. So Michelle, tell me if this is wrong. So we say, and here's so first we're going to start here with false beliefs. Right, and the whiteboard behind me on the other side of this one, actually it's right over there. Whiteboard right there. It's chock full of false beliefs. Okay, over on the right side, that right column, very small font, tons of false beliefs that I found out about the MLM industry. Okay,
Cindy, stop wasting your money to look like everyone else. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You could run that as a headline, right? That could be slightly jarring, you know. And again, not that you're trying to like make people have unease, but if it's something that you truly believe, right? I got no problem telling people I feel like it's weird when you pitch friends and family. I believe it. I know it's jarring, but I'm okay with that because it's a belief that I have, right? And my friends and family don't even know what MLM I'm in. I think they know I'm in one now simply because I publish so much, but they don't really know what I do, right? False belief I know what people have. Contouring is complicated and time-consuming. Okay, so you're talking about a specific tactic. Okay, we need to talk about the relationship kind of here, though. Okay, look, makeup is no longer adequate for you to get the relationship. Okay. Okay, so false beliefs. So let's talk about the vehicle. Oh, you know what? I counteract a whole bunch of guide and videos showing how easy it is. Oh, cool. Okay. So we need to think through what's the biggest objection that people have when you show them your product. Right, Cindy, you might have an idea on this too. And anyone else who's listening also, I hope that this is making sense and this is helpful. Okay, apply this to what you're doing also. What's the biggest objection people have to the product, right? Not an internal one about how they can pull it off, or a resources-based one on whether or not they have the resources to pull it off, right? And hop in a new vehicle, right? You're telling them to get out of their old vehicle and come out to the new one. Okay, price. So that's an external-based one. So I'm going to put E here, okay? So price. I literally fill this out. This is how I design marketing. Okay, what's a vehicle-based one, though? What's the mascara made out of? What's the makeup made out of? Is this really that good, right? I'm criticizing the product itself, okay? Finished product never looks good, right? Kathy said, will it make my lashes longer, and fuller? Finished product looks the same as described. Okay, right? Okay. Actually, Michelle, I think what you said, knowledge, that one could be the internal one. Well, I don't know how to make myself look like that, right? Super cool. For my wife's birthday a little while ago, there's some makeup artist here who does like a lot of the Idaho beauty pageant, like Miss Idaho. I think she did the makeup for her. Anyway, I sent my wife over to her for a birthday present a year ago. She had no idea what was going on. And the lady like critiqued her face and went through and showed her exactly that. And it was amazing. She absolutely loved it. And it right. But for her, it was a knowledge-based thing. That's an internal-based thing, knowledge. So I think that's actually right. Knowledge. Knowledge. Okay. I don't know how to do that. I'm not good enough. I don't qualify. I personally am not that kind of person to use this kind of makeup. Does this make sense? Okay. We still need to come up with and is there more? There's tons more, right? We're just trying to come up with like the top one or two for internal, top one or two for external, top one or two for vehicle. Okay. Right. All mascara wands are the same. Okay. A vehicle-based objection for that. Does this actually work? Maybe that's how we put it. Does this work? Does it work? I'm criticizing the believability. Is this even believable? Right? Is what you're showing me even real? I don't know if I can do that. Oh my gosh, that's pricey. Does that make sense? That's usually the order of objections that the human psyche has when you start to present something that's new to people. That's the reason why we structure these things in that way. Does it make sense? Okay, now that we have the false beliefs. Oh, buddy. You guys excited? Let's design ourselves an offer. Okay. The next thing that we're going to go through and figure out here is old stories. There's some kind of story or experience that they've gone through that is upholding that belief. I have to know what that is. Or when I tell a new story, I won't tell the right one. I have to know what experiences they've gone through. So let's start with price, right? And it's funny because it's a story, right? But it doesn't need to have happened to them. It could actually be hearsay. And they go, well, I heard that there was this one company that was charging $200 for this makeup kit. And it was crazy because it was terrible, didn't even work. And therefore, everything is expensive. I can get the exact same thing from Walmart, right? I bet that actually is it, right? What do you guys think? What's the story upholding this price objection? What do you guys think that is? It's a mental exercise, isn't it? You guys get this down, you can build any funnel you want. It has nothing to do with the funnel at this point. Vehicle is what I've been trying to figure out all week. Yeah, it's probably does it even work. I'm questioning the ability for this product to even deliver relationships. Does that make sense? That has a lot to do with the vehicle. I don't even know if this product here that you're showing me has the power, has the capability of delivering the thing I actually want. They're not going to say that, okay? But that's what they're questioning, okay? Okay, so price. What story is that? What experience did they have that's upholding the price objection? Are there any other guys out there? I'm with you, Lance. I feel like isn't it funny that we can do this and not actually know much about the product? Why? Because it doesn't matter. It's not about the freaking product. Okay. Old story. So many failed attempts trying to find similar products. Okay. So many old attempts trying to find. You know what? I actually think that's the vehicle one. Okay. So all I do is now I'm going to write vehicle internal and external sideways. Okay. So we're going to go. So vehicle. Does this even work? I feel like I've tried a lot. Okay. So there's some story where they've tried so many times. There's so many things they've gone through. Oh my gosh, crazy, right? There's just no way. There's not actually something out there that's going to be right for me. I have a product full of old products that didn't work. Okay, Cindy, awesome. Okay, cool. Trying to use similar. Okay, cool. Now let's think through. We're going to go fast here because I got another meeting here soon. Okay. I keep saying that, but this is helpful, I think. So anyways, okay. So for internal knowledge, what story do they have running in their head as to, I just don't know. I just don't know enough. Okay, well, what experience did they have? What experience did they go through? They might have gone through the experience of maybe some kind of embarrassment. Maybe they're around some other person they thought was looked really attractive and well put together and felt inferior, right? We're talking about internal insecurities, okay? This is a little bit of a raw place to go, okay? It's very open. I don't know. Do you think that's correct? I'm not a woman, so I mean, you guys gotta let me know. Having makeup done by a professional, then not being able to recreate it. I've actually heard my wife say that after going to. Okay, every time in the stories, right? So here's the story here. I've tried so many things. I don't know if this is gonna work. The next one down is I can't recreate what the pros do. Okay, and I just put some kind of small little snippet in there, and you'll see why, because we're going to fill out the side of this as we keep going here. Okay, price. What's the story? The story they see is that they believe I have a friend who spends $300 a month on makeup, and so they believe that that's what it takes for them too. Does that make sense? That's the story. I have a friend, or I know somebody, they spend X number of dollars, and it's crazy to get what I really want. I want relationships, but really I want makeup so that I can, right? I have to go through it. Oh my gosh, I have to go through. I must buy that. Does that make sense? All righty. Can I talk briefly about the PPV campaign? All right, now I'm gonna finish this thread while our heads are all there. So price. We're gonna say there's some story in the background where they think money equals quality, right? Lots of money equals. Lots of money equals success with this stuff. Does that make sense? Oh, Michelle said, okay, awesome. Yes, 200 a month is not uncommon by some crazy people. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're hitting that on the head, and there's that belief out there. And frankly, right, Hollywood probably does its number supporting that false belief also, right? Now that we know what the old stories are, now we need to craft new stories, okay? New stories. Okay. So now we craft news stories. Okay. And this is where we're going to use things like the Epiphany Bridge script from Expert Secrets. This is where we're going to use things like Heroes 2 Journeys. This is where we're going to use, and that's how we'll craft the story and actually assemble the story. You don't necessarily tell stories, you assemble stories. Does that make sense? Before you tell them, you assemble them. Meaning, if you need more drama, assemble more drama, craft more drama. If you need more conflict, then craft more conflict. Right? They're malleable. If you're like, I don't have a story about X, Y, and Z, that's fine. You may know someone else who does though, and you can tell their story as well. Okay, so we come up with a new story. I tried a lot. And so your story could be like, I tried a lot of things too, and it was crazy. And then suddenly this person came out, like, I didn't know who they were. And they came out and they said, you got to try, this is amazing. And I was like, I've tried so many things. I don't know if I can handle anymore. And I didn't know if I wanted to try because I've tried so many things. Okay, what am I doing? I'm using the fuel of the story they've experienced, okay, in the new story. Okay, and I'm going to use things like the Epiphany Bridge script. For the sake of time, I'm going to move on here, okay? Okay, but I'm going to use the Epiphany Bridge script. Epiphany Bridge script, and I'm going to tell a story for vehicle. I'm going to tell a story for internal. I'm going to tell a story for external. Okay. Next thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to create headlines. Another word for headlines, which I think actually describes them better, is promises. Okay. Here's why. Now I'm going to make a vehicle-based promise. I'm going to make an internal-based promise, an external-based promise. I promise I'm going to show you how to, right? The how to without statements you guys learn how to do in the modules, right? I'm going to show you how to, right? How to big promise that has to do with the vehicle they want. I just want one that works. I'm going to show you the two-step system I have to find, or the two-step method I have to finding the makeup that works best for my face without trying hundreds of examples. Does that make sense? I addressed their big fear and the false belief and a promise to get around it without them having to go through the pain I know they've been experiencing. Does that make sense? So I'd say how to, right? How to, and what do I really want? I've just tried so many things. Well, okay, sounds like you just want to know what the thing is. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that one thing without you having to try a whole bunch and go through what you've been going through. Is that helpful? Okay. So here's a how-to without statement. How to blank without blank. How to big promise without huge pain. Tied directly into that vehicle. Old story, new story, right? Right in there. Now let's go for internal. If it's about a knowledge-based thing, all right? I want to show you the 3 makeup tips to, I'm going to show you the 3 tactics that every Hollywood movie star makeup artist is using, which takes 5 minutes to apply and 10 minutes to learn, right? Or something like that. Meaning we're going to make that knowledge barrier not seem as scary. And I want to show you the 3 things that will actually help you like crazy look how you actually want to look. Is that making sense? That right? We've used, and now here's a how-to. The thing that's actually combating the fear without going through the pain of the embarrassment because they don't know, right? Whatever the biggest fear is. I'm going to do it again. Let's say it's external, it's price. I want to show you how you can get $300 worth of professional makeup for just now, and I'm not going to say without, but it's a without statement, for just $50 a month for, or for 1/5 of the cost, or at cost, or straight from the supplier, or by cutting out the middleman. Or does that make sense? I'm going to show you how to get this really expensive stuff that that is really amazing, right? Price matters, right? Or sorry, quality matters. Price matters because it makes a better quality. And I'll show you how to get it really cheap, right? How to massive amounts of value of stuff without spending huge amounts of price. Does that make sense? If you look at secretmlmhacks.com and you look at the actual web page itself, right, the registration page for the webinar, and you look at those bottom 1, 2, 3 columns right across the bottom, that's exactly what I did. I went through and I was combating, right, vehicle, internal and external based false beliefs, the things that I think that they would experience, that you would experience when I showed you secret MLM hacks. Okay, this is where it all comes together. Okay, check this out. Okay, so I'm still just working the line. Okay, I'm still working the line. Next thing I do is this. Here's the actual product. Okay, this is where I typically start creating my actual stack slide, my actual offer, my new opportunity. Okay. Okay. I have a promise. And it's important that I actually make that before I even know what the product is. Otherwise, I end up making a product, or I end up making a headline tethered by the product. Does that make sense? That's why it's in the order that it is. Okay, so I take, right, is this going to work? I've tried so many things. It will work, right? It will work. I had the same fear. I tried so many things. It was crazy. And they're like, me too. I feel like I've tried so many things. How did you know that? Oh, I don't know. Like, right? That happens all the time, right? Well, I'm going to show you how to make it work, how to choose just to make up the one thing, right? Without you having to try all these other things anymore. Here's how to actually detect and figure out what it is for you, right? And to help you do that, here is a self-start guide, totally gonna expose myself here. Okay, what's it called when a lady goes and gets her makeup done? Like a critique. You know what I mean? What's that called? Like the thing my wife went and did. She went and she sat in front of a makeup pro and had her face like, okay, how's your bone structure? Here, you know, you guys know what I'm saying? Your bone structure looks like this. Therefore, use this kind of brush and this kind of, and use it over here, right? Does that make sense? What's that called? Makeover. All right. Beauty consultation. We'll call it that. It's your in-home. There we go. Okay, got it. This is the self-consultation guide. This is the in-home self-consultation guide, right? Now they don't need to have the fear of going and looking in front of people. Consultation is fancier for sure. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, now next. So we go knowledge, okay? Internal, I don't have the knowledge. I can never do what they say. And I'm gonna use the Epiphany Bridge script. Man, I had this huge fear forever. I felt like I was seeing all these people who didn't, I don't know. It was like they became makeup pros overnight, but I could never recreate. I'd go spend the money, and suddenly I was like, man, it's not so much about even just like the product has to be good, but my knowledge. I just did not know how to make myself look and use the materials, right? And funny enough, I'd see these people to be like, they'd use really crappy materials, but then they had the knowledge of how to just use the stuff and would still look good. It was embarrassing. It was crazy. Like I just didn't know what, right? And they're like, me too. I had the same fear, right? And like, where'd you get that? You got it by figuring out what their false beliefs are, and they make it feel like it's magic and we're connecting. But really, you're just using marketing. You're figuring out where their story ends and where you're just going to pick up from exactly where they left off, not where you want to pick up. Does that make sense? You're picking up where they left off, and instead, what we're going to go do is we're going to give you and you might call it something different than this. Okay. Use some kind of makeup vernacular. You could use some kind of it'd be cool. Like, right. I know ladies go and get makeup done specific for an event, right? Well, this is best for a nightclub. This is best for a formal party. This is best for a black tie event. This is best for, right? What if it was like, here's the evening guide based on the event. Here's how to do the makeup for that event, and here's the guide. That's awesome. That's sexy right there. Okay. We got, I don't know what to call that. You'd have to come up with a cool name with it, but it was like a makeup event guide. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not a lady. Maybe it's not actually awesome, but like that's really hitting that knowledge part. Event. I don't know. Hey, you're going to this kind of event? Here's the 3 steps to do the makeup for that kind of event and match what you'll be wearing. You know, oh, you're going to that kind of event. Here's how to do it. Does that make sense? Evening looks guide. Boom. Okay. Evening looks guide. We're about to go full circle here. Buckle up. Okay. Price. You know what? Okay, so price seems like I have to spend tons of money to get the good stuff. I'm gonna show you how to get a whole bunch of great stuff without, blah, 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 blah. What if it was like, that actually could be really cool. I'm gonna give you a month free into our membership. I don't know. You could call it like a secret society of Trey Llewellyn had this thing for guns. Okay. Talk about completely the different market. Yeah, this thing for guns. And what he had was this club where, because of the volume of the people who were in, he would get really, really cheap guns and ammunition. And so he gave them a free month into like the buyers club. And it gave them very, very, very cheap guns and ammunition. And they got a free month into it. After that, it was like $30 a month to maintain it. But I mean, this is honestly where a lot of your MLM stuff can get in, is where, like if you know how valuable the thing is on the open market, like the makeup, right, versus the price that they'll be paying, it's not that you have to combat only on price, right? The main concern here could be time. I don't know. I don't have enough time. Cool. Here's your early morning 2 things to do to make you feel put together in 3 minutes, right? And so does that make sense? So we could do a price thing. And like, I'm going to give you this cool, the kit. You have a kit. Kit at less money. Kit at less money. Okay. Check this out. One product for work, play and evening, not several ones. Yeah. Oh, see, that'd be kind of cool too. Is this where I put the whole kit and show how it's a good price compared? Yes, 100%. 100%. Okay. This is how I create the stack. Without knowing it, we have very deceivingly created the stack before your very eyes. Shazam. Okay. Now, that's bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3. All we're going to do is we're going to add an anchor in and call it something cool. Okay? Does that make sense? So if the stack slide usually has like 5 things in it, well, there's 1, 2, 3. Let's add in something else. And it could literally just be the name of it. I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call this, I don't know. Everything I know and product name has to do with secrets and hacks. I don't think that's what you want to call this. Makeup hacks. Anyway, but what I like to do is I like to add some kind of fast action bonus at the bottom. A fast action bonus at the bottom. By the way, those of you guys who act right now, I'm going to let you guys into our little community. We like to jump on in and just compare notes and figure out, and we share, I don't know, tips and tricks about, does that make sense? Fast action bonus. Go and jump in. Actually, what could be really cool here too, and this could actually keep the sales coming, is do exactly what I'm doing right here. For those of you guys who actually jump in the next little bit here, we have live Q&As that we do each week where you actually can jump on and I'll actually do my makeup live and walk you through why I'm doing what I am. And we're actually going to start with the first 7 of these evening looks. And so this next week is we're going to do evening look number 3. It'll be based on if you're going to a black tie event. The week after that, we're going to do one actually and we're going to do them live in front of a whole bunch of people. And you guys can watch. But we just want to work with people who are actually serious about this. So it's only for the first 15 people who go and jump in. But we're going to give you guys live Q&A makeup tutorials. What's that really going to do for you? It's actually going to let you continue to sell them in the future, right? Solidify the sale that they made, right? Or I mean the purchase that they made, right? So there's a cool fast action bonus. And the one up here at the top, we could toss in something like, see, we got the guide. We got another guide. We got a kit that we're tossing in there. You could toss in, it'd be kind of cool. I'm sure that there's lots of books on makeup. You actually could get someone else's book that you actually think's really good and just give it to them for free when they buy it. They get it for free. You're just going to add $20 to the cost of everything else. And does that make sense? Okay. And it's from, I don't know. Let's say you're in Mary Kay. It's a book from Mary Kay. Right. Does that make sense? Something that they would perceive as high value that ties to the rest of the things and to the kit that you're actually selling. Right. I'm sure it's not Mary. I don't know what you're actually in, but let's say that it's you know who Robert Jones is? Maybe it's a book from him. He was the guy we're building funnel for, his makeup funnel. Okay, watch this. Is this how, gosh, this is like freaking awesome, okay? Because this part right here is the part that is reactionary to the market. The market told us to put those things together. Did they tell us? Not explicitly, but they told us, okay? Now, what's cool about that is it's a safe place for me to launch in. It's the part of the offer in the stack that's actually really, 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 really secure because you're reacting to what the market has asked you to do, right? That lets you react and work within these bounds, work within a leash, okay? Work within a safe fence, a gate that the market actually created for you. We just want to know how to do this. You're like, cool. The problem is that we're all entrepreneurs and we want to do things that are crazy and cool and awesome. We're like, oh my gosh, so super cool, okay? And so what we'd like to do is, since this is the reactionary part of the stack of the offer, whatever the products that we toss up here are, maybe it's your own book. Maybe you're going to write a book. It's not that crazy challenging anymore, right? Right? Maybe what's the crazy prolific thing that you've got? Maybe something that you want, something your own flair. And you're still creating these things down here, but it's not the place you get to play mentally as an entrepreneur. The place you get to play is up here, okay? And so here's what you do with price. Since I know in your MLM, right, you probably have to sell the kit for a certain price point. Right here, here's the kit. Charge the kit price. They just get the rest of the stuff for free. What? You see how you competed on value and not on price now? Right? These are freaking info products. You got to make those one time. And you know what? A lot of those videos, you could probably find them on YouTube. YouTube is open source. It's public domain. You can just take them, okay? You can. As long as it's publicly listed, it's publicly listed. You can grab those. I make members areas with other people's videos all the time and use them for lead gen, okay? It's legal. You can do that. Go grab all this other stuff, right, and put it in there as a guide, right? Here's how to do email. I bet someone else has already done it, or you could just watch it and just remake those things, okay? So does that make sense? And up here at the top, if you want to, you could toss in your own stuff, the stuff that's actually slightly more in the crazy zone, slightly more prolific, not as mainstream, but you're selling it all for the price of the thing that your MLM makes you sell it at that price point, but you're just delivering more. You will outsell, you're going to outperform, you'll outvalue everyone else in your downline, your upline, and other people in the general mascara, makeup, red ocean. Yeah?
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Hey, remember to leave feedback for me on iTunes. Part of today's challenge in MLM is knowing how to teach your downline all of this stuff, right? Would you like me to help you teach your own downline 5 simple recruiting tips for free? If so, go download the free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com. The course is free and it'll help explain to your team what I'm doing and what you're learning. It also gets sent straight to your inbox. Just go download it at secretmlmhacksradio.com.